Hello, welcome. My name's David Thomas. This is Gary Parker.
Afternoon.
We're here this afternoon to talk to you about earthing and bonding. This is one of the series of Voltimum Webinars, which is supported by the... So the topic today we're going to cover is earthing and bonding. Earthing and bonding has been a requirement within the electrical industry for a considerable length of time. I think more or less ever since the edition of the first edition of the wiring regulations was ever written. But there's been changes to the requirements, and we'll discuss those as we go through. 30 people logged in, so we'll see how we get. We've got 33 people logged in, so please, all of you, about 2/3 of you have done this so far, so just click on what's relevant to you, and then we'll be able to have a bit of a profile. It looks like we've got a lot of electrical contractors with us today, which is good, so welcome. And then it looks like your job roles are pretty much spread across designer, contracts manager, proprietor, self-employed. So if we look at earthing and bonding then, as I said earlier, it's been with us for many years. The 15th edition of the wiring regulations radically changed how earthing and bonding was actually carried out, and those of you who were in the industry at that particular time, I'm sure you can remember the discussions that we had and the vast increase in earthing and bonding which was done at that time. Conductor sizes were increased. Everything previously had to have a bonding conductor and an earthing conductor, but it was the 15th that really changed the focus on that. Now, with the first amendment of the 17th edition, the requirements are basically the same. There's one or two areas that have been extended slightly, but basically the requirement for earthing and bonding is it still has to be done. So we need to look at how we do that and the implications to that. People listening, if you'd like to send a question in, there's still time. While the webinar's running, please type it in, send us your questions, and then we'll be able to circulate them all to you later. The first question that we have is regarding electric vehicles, actually, and electrical vehicle infrastructure. And so if we've got a TT system, is there likely to be a more requirement for bonding for electric vehicles than there is at present?
For the charging point, you mean?
For the charging point, yes. Not actually the vehicle itself. I understand you're not going to bond the car to the mains.
No, that would be quite difficult.
But the actual point itself?
There could be. There's a policeman outside. There could be a requirement to make that part of the installation a TT system because of the nature of exposing and exporting PME services or TNCS services. But that may not be the case. There is nothing in statute that says you cannot export a TNCS service, although sometimes people tend to think that you can, that you cannot. But there's nothing in the electrical supply quality and continuity regs that says you cannot export it as long as it's done properly.
Well, thank you for your attention for the webinar. We hope you found it useful. We've covered the basics in a very short period of time, so if you do have questions, as I say, you still have a short time while the webinar is still open to send them in, and then we'll be able to answer them for you later. There's 2 pages coming up of questions. We'd really appreciate you filling those in before you log off, but it just remains for Gary and I to say thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you another time. Thank you.
Thanks.